Hey there, it's the last part here on YouTube, Leading Our Own Way with Tessa Jetson this week, the Procrastinator Buster. If you've missed it, here she is, been here all week, the author of Restart Your Life. But today, there's some tough love. This episode is all about tough love. She gives us really tough love, and she tells us the tough love that she gives to her clients around her leaving toxic relationships and building a new life. She only takes it any step further if they get out. Otherwise, she tells them to come back down the track. It's some tough love, and it must be heard. We talk about her future plans and how living life to her full potential is so important for her going forward for the rest of her life, and being around her family and her grandchildren. It's just incredible. And she's made me, I say made, I really want to, but she's pushing me. I'm going to speak in her event here in Melbourne. So excited. I'll let you know about that one in the future. Here we go with Tessa. Enjoy. If you've missed the other parts, go back, but don't forget to subscribe to the show. Have a great weekend, and we'll come back next week with another amazing guest. But for now, here's Tessa. Let's give some quick advice, some little tips. Where could we start? If somebody was sat in your office now and you're bringing the brain into it, you said about a goal. Apart from the goal, what piece of advice could you give to somebody who's been through something similar? Let's look at abuse and narcissistic relationships. Where would you advise people to go? Outside of the goal, what piece of bringing in the brain aspect into it, where would you go first? Where would you ask the client or the person who's suffering to start with?
Are you talking about someone who's in a relationship or not in a relationship?
Generally, you can categorize it as you will.
Number one, I can't help anyone. You need to get out of that relationship.
Sure.
So honestly, like I get ladies, it can be quite frustrating, and I am a bit tough with the ladies, and I cut you off if you don't leave because I can't.
You scare me a little bit.
No, I can't help you. No, but I can't help you.
No, it's true.
Especially, they get a bit of tough love with them because I'm saying, now I understand you didn't know it was abuse because it's sometimes, especially with emotional, narcissistic, or they don't understand. And once I've explained it, yes, tell me what's going on. They tell me, I said, it is absolutely abuse. It is abusive. So, and I join them in. I've got a free group where I post lots of stuff about narcissistic abuse. They can really get to understand it. And now they know. I said, now you know, and you haven't, if you don't, and then maybe they still haven't left and they contacted me. I said, I'm not going to keep talking to you because you know now it's abuse. So now you are partly abusing your children because you're keeping your children in an abusive home, these poor children. So that's the first thing. You need to leave. No excuses, no exceptions. I left with a plastic bag. And I would rather, there's a beautiful movie called The Kindness of Strangers. Please watch that movie. It's beautiful. Where they were sleeping in the car, and I remember the boy looking to the mum, and it was cold, everything's going wrong, and the boy goes, "Mum, I'm so happy here. We're not going back, are we?" Because you'd rather sleep in a freaking car. They would. You'd rather sleep in a car. Like we have places to go. There's women's refuges. There's so much help in Australia. So please, you need to leave. Yes, you might have to walk away from your house like I did, and it was 10 years till I got my house back. Bad luck. Best 10 years we ever had. Because my kids, like my son's got $1 million business. All my kids are very successful, got houses. They've done very, very well for themselves. I go there, I'm like, swimming pools, the whole thing. Like they've done so well. My grandkids get everything. They're just.
If you hadn't done that, they might not be living in those houses or running that business.
And my kids, we talk about this. They could be not running anyone down, but you only got to look at my life and my grandkids, and then you look at my other people counting, rationing food, counting pennies, and then all their kids, they're broke, they're not working, they're unemployed, they've got mental health, they've got alcohol because they stayed in abusive relationships, and you've messed your kids' lives up, basically. I left when my children were 1, 3, and 5. Yeah, okay, wow. Please, you need to leave. No excuses. No, I don't want to hear excuses when we've got houses to go to. So I do get tough on that, and ladies get cut out of my world if you don't leave. Because my Restart Your Life is about restarting after you've left this toxic relationship. So then basically really honestly what I would do then is what I take them through my programs. And at my retreats, the very first thing we actually do, I have a weekend retreat, all my online courses, depending on, like this girl, Nicola, she's been to my retreat. Now she's coming to my 4-week online course. The very first thing we do, we find your purpose. And your why. Why do you want to... What's like, you might have goals, but without but if you don't, like, for example, to give the alcohol up, why? And I know for me, what was the trigger for the alcohol? What really did it when I did the course with Dr. Gina was basically, I'll connect her to you as well. She's a lovely lady. Basically when we were digging deep on that, because I'd been goal orientated for business for so long and earned, six figures for 2 decades. I'd been very successful. And then when we started just going back to my health, and then why do you want to get your health? For my grandchildren. I wanted to be a good role model for my grandchildren. I thought, I never drank around my kids. I didn't do that. Like, I was a young mom. I was a go-getter. Like, so when all that, my drinking started as they got older and sort of leaving home, that's when I was on my own working, that sort of thing. So it wasn't like around my kids, I didn't drink.
Yeah.
So I was like a fun mom, outgoing, the basketball coach, the footy trainer, you name it. I was there, singing teacher, everything, the religious education teacher. That was me as a mum. And I thought, hang on, I didn't drink it. And I thought, I want to be a good role model for my grandkids. I don't want my grandkids to see me drinking, because I was getting, they were young, and now my grandkids, some of my grandkids are all under 5, and they'll never see me drinking, and I want to be that same. I go rollerblading with my grandkids. I go motorbike riding. I taught my grandkids how to rollerblade. My kids go, isn't that supposed to be us? Like, I'm doing all that with them because I'm young. I've lost 30 kilos. I'm fit. I'm healthy. I'm always alive at the party, but a fun. We got to take them to the pools, camping, all that sort of stuff. So, but that's what was my purpose, to be a good role model. And also I started thinking, I'm not going to be around for them. To be realistic, you cannot punish your health so much. So that was my reason. Right, now I've got the reason. Now let's get to the goals. And what we learn in neuroscience is that once we have our goals, we break it down so small. It's not how big you take a step forward to the goal. It's that you do it daily to rewire the brain and join the synapses together, which is science term. But basically, in short, simplified version, you need to repeat something for at least 66 days minimum, and you don't do it if the goals are too big. So with this girl, Nicola, her goal might be just having 1 glass of water every day for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Then we'll keep, and there's no talk about the alcohol. We're focusing on the new positive goals. That's what I do. Right? That's what I do, because and same as with AA and all them other things, they're always focusing on the negative. I want to quit smoking. I don't want to drink. I'm an alcoholic.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So with what the work I do with the ladies is all about your goals, but having that forward focused and exciting visions. We do visualization, we do vision boards, all about in 12 months time, and I get into visualize that you're speaking on my stage. We're working on our second book now. So all the ladies working with me right now are working on being an author on stage, launching the second book. That's where their headspace is with me.
Love it. Love it. Fantastic work. Amazing. Beautiful to hear. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, well, future plans then. Before I ask you the purpose, I know you do it, but I'm going to ask you to put it into one simple liner. Future plans. The reason why I ask this question is because I want the viewers to understand you've not led your way. You're not stood still. You're not sat there. You've not achieved it. You're achieving, and you'll never stop until the day you die. So your future plans, what are your future plans?
Oh my gosh, my life it's in an exciting moment in time, because I'm selling this house. I'm buying a tiny home. I'm actually buying, my son's actually, I bought a portion of my son's property. So we're putting a tiny home at the back of my son. I can't believe, I'm very blessed that they want me there. He's like,
Mum, amazing.
So I've got a tiny home going up in Gold Coast, because my son builds tiny homes, and my other son's a builder. Then I'm going to have a block of land, Melbourne somewhere, with a tiny home. I've got 2 vans as well, which are going to go on the property. But I've launched my brand new business, which is I help coaches who are chronic procrastinators, because I want to have more people doing the work that I'm doing. And you know what? I just want to share this, that, do you know the coaching industry is $1 billion industry? But because in my role, not only did I learn the neuroscience, I actually become a global director of the company for years. So I was involved in selling millions of dollars of programs. And the reason I stepped down from that role last year, walking away from a lot of money, was because they didn't want me to mentor the people, because everyone was buying the programs and no one was monetizing it. No, I was still running all the courses. And I'm like, I would like to let me mentor them. And they just they weren't interested, and I couldn't work it out. Then I worked it out. And I said, you just want to sell courses. You actually don't care if people actually make money out of it. So what I've found and done a lot of research, that's $1 billion industry. People are buying all these. I know a lady just spoke to you last week. She spent $56,000 of her super. She's got no super left. She's nearly 70 on courses. Another person, 100,000. All these people, coaches I speak to, they're broke. They're working jobs because they're buying course after course after course, because they want to heal themselves. but they're not implementing the courses. So what I am going to do is with coaches who want to be me is I've got put together a 12-month mentoring program. You don't need to buy another course. There's no courses to be bought. I'm going to help you implement what you already paid for and help you do exactly what I do, which is fill courses, affordable courses with 20 people, not sell high ticket courses. That how can you sell a high ticket course when you're not a high ticket person? Because you haven't worked on yourself yet. So it's just so it's really sad because these people are buying these programs and they want to be a high ticket coach, but you got depression, you got anxiety, or you're drinking alcohol like I was. And like, how on earth am I going to sell a high ticket when I wasn't a high ticket person? So we need to get, and what I do is I put the coaches through all my courses, like my habits course, my procrastination course. You get all that. So watch me train and also overcome your own habits, procrastination, and get to be like me. Then I'll help you fill your courses, exactly what I do. So that's my program, a 12-month mentoring program. And guess what? A lot of the ladies from domestic violence are now my coaches.
Wow, beautiful.
So I'll certify you to actually, if you want to, I'll actually, because I'm a master trainer in the neuroscience, so I'll bless you as well. I'm training them in the neuroscience as well. And
Nice.
that way, if you want to teach that as well, because I teach that through all my courses, because you do, as accreditation, you just need to know about the brain. I'm so passionate like you.
Yeah.
You need to understand, forget about the old style life coaching where you sit in front of someone and talk. It's just ridiculous. You don't get anywhere. You need to understand your brain, how your brain works, and how to actually achieve goals using your brain. Yeah. So that's what I do.
It's funny you bring all that up because that's what I've been thinking about my book. I'm glad the book's been wrote, but there's a stage before it for leaders. You cannot lead with purpose if you don't live with purpose.
You cannot.
These principals of schools or these leaders of corporate worlds cannot go to work every day if they're not setting themselves up on a daily basis with a morning routine or whatever it is that they do that will help them lead or live, should I say, first with purpose, understanding their family, contribution, their connection to their family, coping mechanisms, sleep, mindfulness, exercise, food. They're not doing all these basics in human life. How can they get up and go and lead with purpose? How?
And same as with I think about what your story, I've told that many people about it. I'm like, how can, so many companies like corporates and this going on, it's just so out of integrity. You're supposed to be a leader and you're not actually making the environment right. But back to with these coaches, so my number one goal is to work with you to get you to over whatever it is you need work on. You need to work on that first. Do not try to sell a program that you haven't done yourself. And that's why I've only got into all this online coaching since COVID, that I've overcome my drinking. So I'm living in full integrity as a coach. Before that, I was training and I was traveling around training people with mental health because, yes, I'd overcome mental health. I wasn't talking about alcohol, was I? No, because I didn't do that, right? I wouldn't have talked about that topic because it's out of integrity, right? So, I'm really...
And that's why I didn't do the podcast straight away. I had this domain for over a year. I had the social media platforms. Wow. I didn't start it because I needed to learn more. I needed to learn more about the brain. I needed to learn more about the body. How could I have these high, intense academic conversations with experts like yourself? I've had neurologists on the podcast. I've had cognitive health coaches. One of the books up there is from the cognitive health coach in the UK. I'm having Paul Taylor, the neuroscientist, on next week. We're filming next Sunday. How could I have these type of people and these type of conversations if I couldn't do it myself? Right.
That's exactly, if you hadn't moved forward, if you hadn't moved forward, because, but that's the thing. Do you understand that? Because I talk to a lot of coaches that most coaches, only about 1% of coaches actually monetize it. And the rest of them are really out there doing all these posts. And I know them. Please don't do that. Get your shit together first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't sell people into your programs if you haven't got it together.
Well, I've not done my program yet. Not because I don't know my stuff. I just don't know how to start my program. That's the area that to me, my main problem is physical time because I still have to work full time to bring the money in for the house. And the podcast literally takes up all the time outside of that. So I don't know where I've got physical time to even go and do anything else.
Do you know what? I can have a chat out of simple. People make it so it's not complicated. It's really not. I'll have a side chat with you. It's really, if you come and speak at this event and I'll run it, I'll do I'll explain it. It's really not, you're ready to, it's not actually complicated.
I am.
All these people complicate it so they can sell their high ticket courses.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, it's exciting time. So I'll send you the date after this and look forward to speaking at an event live with you.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Right. Final question for you then. You've already said it, but if you can put it into a simple liner, what's your purpose?
My purpose is to help people live life to their full potential. It's funny you said that because that was my statement on my website that I created in 2010. I just want to help people live life to their full potential. Everybody,
Beautiful.
my grandchildren, that's everybody I'm around. I just want to make them, don't waste your life. We have one life, and I've had loss in my life. You know, my beautiful sister who was diagnosed with Hodgkin's disease passed away at 20, and my cousin, you know, at 9, and you get one life, you know, live it to your full potential. Don't waste life. And you also, especially if you're a parent, you owe the right to do that, to be that guiding light. And actually, Nicola, the lady who I'm helping with the alcohol, she said her kids are saying, Mum, that she goes, I know, they're really ashamed of me. You know, she wants to be a good role model. I said, yes, she's got her purpose. So please
Beautiful.
live life to your full potential out there.
You heard it here, people. Listen to Tessa. If you are interested in the book and anything that she does, all the information will be in the show notes. Contact her, reach out to her, whatever it is you need. Tessa's got you back, and I've got you back too. Tessa, thank you for joining me on my journey. I really appreciate you sharing your time, space, your knowledge, your expertise, and forcing me to do things too. So thank you. I really appreciate it.
You might should get a message in 5 minutes off me.
I love it.
Thank you so much. I love what you do. It's amazing. I'm so grateful that I met you, grateful to be connected. I'm really excited, especially getting into schools with the bullying. And
Yes.
you know, that's been a passion of mine as well. Under my charity now, we're going into schools. But
Love
you
it.
know, when you told me about you, I'm like, what hope are these children got? And you know, I've come across this bullying actually. I've got quite a few connections for you going on in sporting clubs. And I'm like, this is by the leaders of the clubs. And I'm like, what hope are these children got?
That's right, yeah. Well, my co-author, Mike Nichols, actually specialises in NLP, but he goes and does it for the sporting clubs because he has a lot of clients who are getting bullied by assistant coaches and other players and so on like that. So
It's insanity because I'm actually doing a talk at this for men's mental health, and they've got me coming along. And then I started to get to know them. They're telling me what's going on. I'm like, what the heck? This is madness.
yeah,
What
it's
example are we
everywhere.
giving?
It's everywhere. It's shocking, and I see it on a daily basis. Unfortunately, even in the teaching world, still people are chronic stress, and whether it's from bullying, their own life, whatever, it's everywhere. Anyway,
But you're right that the leaders up the chain need to nip this, stop this happening. I mean, I've had bullies of bosses, you know, and I was out the door. Like, you know, I remember, like, yeah, I wasn't going to work there. Like,
Nope.
It's horrible. It's like what you've done. I love it. That's awesome.
you. I
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much. I look forward
Thank
to
you
the episode and getting to speak to you further and at our live event. Thank you.
Absolutely, I'm there straight away. You don't need to convince me anymore. I'm there because I get the ball rolling. That confidence of standing on stage as well. That's going to be a good one.
And I'll have multiple speakers. The day will be about this. Every event that I run is about positivity, goal setting. But we always bring this in. Every speaker I book has all had mental health because to show that we can move forward. That's it. Yeah, we can move forward.
That's it. Absolutely beautiful. Tessa, thank you for joining me on Leading Our Own Way. To everybody who's tuned in, I know you'll be able to take something away from Tessa today and put it into your own life. For now, keep leading your own way. From Tessa and I, have a great week, have a great weekend, and come back next week for another amazing guest here on Leading Our Own Way.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye for now. Thanks for listening and watching Leading Our Own Way. So we can stay together forever and share more incredible journeys, please subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss next week's episode and what that amazing guest has to offer to the world. Please support Leading Our Own Way, and we'll get you on next week's episode.